It's kind of a delay here, looks like going on. So I don't know. I'm here. That's what counts. I'm here. So anyway, happy Saturday. We're having weird weather. It was in the 40s. Today it's 81. I don't know what's going on. I see. I'm unstable. Nothing new about that. Anyway, I'm here to do the show. So in a few minutes, I'll get started. Right after I have a little something to smoke. Of course, I won't do that for a few minutes. New for me. Okay. But I'm unstable according to the screen here, which is also nothing new for me. So, but anyway, I'm here. My radiant beauty. Boom. Now it's nice and big, and I'll be able to see it. God, I'm unstable, it says. I'm just, hey, Stony. It happened. So, yeah, when you're on, you kill my show. You know that. Nobody tunes in. So, just so you know. But yeah, I'm all prepared here, though. All prepared. I wrote SPLIFFY on your calendar this, but window here, my screen. There's nobody paying attention. So, but we're rapidly approaching that. Finally get high today. I'm ready. I got some news. So, almost there. I have sex with wife, or I never would. Okay. Come on, 420. Come on. God, this is the longest minute. I've been staring at this clock. Hey, happy 420. Anyway, buffering bad. Yeah, I know. I can see it here. I'm out of sync too. What fun. Anyway, at the Grand River Academy in Michigan, a kindergartner brought a bottle of Cuervo Pink lemonade premixed margaritas to school. Okay. She handed out cups of it to 5 of her classmates, telling them it was juice. They got juiced, all right. Some of them started to feel woozy and dizzy. Parents were informed, and they disciplinary action would be the school the next day. I think it was a little girl, actually. I think she wanted to get the kids fucked up. So, only the kids with lampshades on their heads. Yeah, right. So, 2 Arizona diversity advocates, get this one, falsely accused a disc jockey who was hired to work at a charity event at a Scottsdale elementary school of working in blackface. Okay. So the 2 individuals, Jill Lassen and Stuart Roden, had come under fire for falsely accusing an African American of wearing blackface and dressing in a racist outfit, as he wore disco-inspired clothing, complete with roller skates and a shiny gold shirt. Okay, the event raised over $300,000, by the way. So Lasson, she apologized for her error, but Roten claims that Taylor, who is black, as a black man, was in blackface, and which is equally as wrong. Okay, for him to be in blackface, as if he were a white man in blackface, but he really wasn't in blackface. He's just dark that way. Okay, so this guy was still offended, even though he was a black man not in blackface. Okay, so this, I don't know what this guy was offended by. Okay, but he was still upset by it, even though it was a black guy who was not in blackface. He thought it was too dark to be there or something. Okay. So, I don't know. People in Arizona are nuts. So, there's going to be a rare planetary alignment starting tomorrow morning and lasting for the rest of the month. Well, yeah, there's a lot of nutsy people in Arizona. Yeah. So anyway, what's going to happen is just before dawn, okay, about an hour before sunrise, my testicle align. No. Planetary alignment, not testicle. Anyway, about an hour before sunrise, right along the horizon, you'll be able to see 4 planets lined up in a straight line. One is lower 11. So you'll be able to see Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn all lined up in a row. Although, what is it? Jupiter will be slightly lower than the other 3, which will make it a little more difficult to see, even though it's going to be the second brightest planet up there. You have to look southeast towards where the sun comes up, and they'll be right there. Okay. Yeah. Well, what's even going to be cooler is in late June and early July, there's going to be 5 planets lined up in the same spot. Okay. So you'll be able to see Mercury in the same spot. So that'll be even cooler still. There'll be 5 of them lined up instead of 4. Yeah. So hope you're an early riser. Oh, my joint went out. So I'll have to look for that. Now, despite decades of environmental efforts, over 40%, more than 137 million people, live in cities or states with poor air quality. For the past 22 years, American Lung Association has released an annual report on air quality for communities across the country. 63 million people live in counties that have dangerous levels of particulate matter pollution, an increase of nearly 9 million over the last year. You can sleep, be awake at will. Cool. You would have been a good fisherman. Yeah. Now, the particles are made up of dust, ash, soot, and metals from gas-powered vehicles, industrial plants, and in recent years, wildfires. Now, since the majority of wildfires occur out west, all but one of the top 25 worst cities for particulate matter pollution are west of the Rockies. Pittsburgh being the only site east of the Rockies with the air quality problem due to industrial facilities. But they've been cleaning up their air quality in recent years, and they had the lowest readings this year than they've had in a number of years. So that means 24 of those cities are west of the Rockies. So of the worst cities you could live in, okay, are west of the Rockies, the most polluted ones. So it's bad out there. Corporations shit in our beds. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, well, even there's even plastic in our blood now. So, what are you going to do? So the estimate for repairs to the Capitol building after the January 6th debacle has been increased from 149 million from 1.49 million to 2.73 million of our money. Okay. So the Justice Department has been assessing money against these people that have pled guilty to to being involved in the insurrection. They've been charging them, in addition to whatever penalties they've received, they've been paying towards rebuilding the Capitol. We'll have so much plastic in our bodies, we melt and burn. Yeah, gonna have sticky stuff in all the fucking crematoriums worldwide. It's gonna be a mess. So what they've been doing is they've been assessing fees against these people that have pled guilty. $500 for a misdemeanor and $2,000 for a felony. Those monies go towards repairing the Capitol building and the grounds. But that was when we thought it was going to be a little over $1 million, but now it's way $2 million. So they're going to have to start raising them fees. It looks like, increase those fines. But that means those people who've already pled guilty got off light. They should go back and hit them up for some more money. Anything but feed the hungry. Yeah, well, or house the homeless. They're not doing that either. They could do that. The only reason there's so many homeless people is because rents are so fucking outrageous. Nobody can afford to pay them, I mean, that's why there's so many LA homeless. They've rented, they've raised the rents to the point where people can't afford to live there. Ridiculous. Wow. The weed of the week. I'd spend $500 to party at the Capitol and rip shit up. Yeah. Bubble Wand, welcome aboard. Long time no see. You're just in time for the weed of the week, which is Jupiter, by the way. 29.45% THC. So it's some potent shit. It's an indica hybrid, which should knock me on my ass pretty soon. So Adam Kinzinger, Jupiter. Not Jupiter OG. There's a Jupiter OG, and then there's Jupiter. This is just Jupiter. It's pretty good. Just before I started to cough, I was going to say it's pretty smooth. No, I missed you, Spliffy, but today I'm here. Well, I'm glad you're here. So I've missed you too. Now, Adam Kinzinger, who was a Republican congressman from Illinois, and one of two of the House Republicans on the January 6th committee, and also one of the few Republicans to vote to impeach Trump. He's going to retire after 6 terms in Congress, mainly because he's no longer believes the direction the GOP is going, and of course they've pretty much turned their back on him, because he's anti-Trump. It's a smooth cough, yes. Yeah, well, I never fart. Not in public, anyway. At my age, you don't know what might happen. So, but he's decided he's gonna run in the Republican primary in 2024 against Trump. Okay, and he wants to do this. He knows he's going to get crushed. Okay, but he wants to be able to stand up there and point out all the nasty shit about Trump. Okay. He just wants to point out all that stuff. Okay. There's a sharp worry. Yes, there is. You prefer not to release air. It's not air, it's gas. There's no air in there. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Pence is going to run too? Oh, well, we'll see. But yeah, he decided he wants to get up there and he just wants to just shit on Trump all he can, okay, while he's still in the race. Before he gets crushed, yeah, he just wants to point out all of Trump's faults and everything and all the nasty shit he did, okay? Yeah, they just released pressure. So I think this is a great idea, and I'm glad he's from Illinois. Okay. Oh, hey, I didn't tell my Weed of the Week story. It's a personal one. So you know how they say if your palm itches, you're going to come into money? Well, Thursday night, I'm sitting here getting high. My palms start itching. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, cool, I'm going to come into some money. So yesterday, where will Liz Cheney go? I don't know. I'm sure she won't get reelected. Her and Kinzinger are buddies. So, but anyway, so yesterday, well, let me explain. Last year, I was supposed to renew my plates on my car. They give you a little sticker put on there. And I forgot. That was last April. So in August, the state sends me an email and says, you forgot to renew your plates. Print out this application and go renew your plates. My printer didn't work. So I forgot about it again. Okay. So I figure, well, I forgot about it again. So until last month, when I realized that I need to renew my plates again. Okay. Well, they didn't send me an application to do that. They probably figured I got rid of the car. Okay. So I go to the DMV yesterday and I tell the guy, I said, hey, look, I forgot to renew my plates last year. I said, they sent me a notice in August I says, right after that, I had to have an emergency angioplasty, and it slipped my mind until recently. And the guy says, well, he says, let's just issue you a new set of plates. Yeah, he says, we'll just issue you a new set of plates. He says, that'll be $151. That's the cost for 1 year. So he didn't charge me at all for last year. He just issued me a new set of plates for this year. Yeah, it slipped my mind. So that's the money I came into. Right, it was my right palm. So that's the money I came into. It only charged me for 1 year and issued me a new set of plates. How cool is that? So I guess he figured, I'll give the old timer a break. We'll just pretend those plates don't exist anymore, and we'll give him new ones. Yeah, it is wonderful. So I came into $151 yesterday. Thank you, Thursday Itchy Palm. Can you cheat and use a bug to itch your hand? I don't know. Find a way, huh? But I thought, holy shit, the Itchy Palm thing worked. So I'm mighty happy about that. So back to the news. Oh, hey. Oh, I got another story here. A House GOP leader, Kevin McCarthy, he said on Thursday, he denied on Thursday that he ever said he recommended to Trump, or that he would recommend to Trump that he resign after January 6th. Amy Aces is a stony ass strain. Yeah. So yeah, Eliza, and then they had a recording of it. How cool is that? He says, no, I never said Trump should resign. I never said I was going to talk to Trump about him resigning. I never said anything of the kind. And then on the Rachel Maddow show, they played the recording. And Liz Cheney was on the phone with him at the time. Okay. So it's not like he could deny it, Busted as fuck. Exactly. I mean, and here he's saying, so I think I'm going to talk to Trump tomorrow about resigning because I know he's going to get impeached. So what the fuck? How can you deny that? They got it on tape. Oops. Yeah, he makes me sick too. He's such a fucking, I don't know. What can you call him? An asshole. The way he flip-flopped and everything. The way they all flip-flopped, it was hardly tourists. Okay. Yes, exactly. I agree with you, Bubba One. But it's just, I don't know. Yes, like I say, I'm still waiting for that crazy liberal who owns a gun. That's the trouble. All the liberals are anti-gun, so there's none of them out there that are going to go shoot anybody. That's what needs to be done. hating the Dems isn't good enough for my vote. Yeah. Well, no, you're right. So there's hints that Bernie will run again. So that's nice. Of course, they'll find a way to fuck him again. You know, like they always do. I don't know what's wrong with people. You know, you got the only good candidate, and nobody wants him in the White House. You know, makes no sense to me. Yep, he might run again. He's throwing hints out there. Yes, it would be cool. Yes, you heard that correctly. Yeah, I'd be ready for that. You know, but they'll find a way to fuck him out of it again. You know they will. Like they did the last time. You know, we got all the way to Arizona, and then what happened? Yes. Yep. Bong hits for Bernie. Remember that one? Yeah, the mittens. I tried to get a pair the same day, and you couldn't get through. Bong on Bernie. Yes, bong on Bernie. You know, but you know, people blame Biden for his inability to get things done, but it's really the Senate, you know. Maybe we can pick up a couple of seats. Bernie for Sherney. There you go. Your back aches, damn Biden. Yeah, blame him for everything, you know. I mean, they're blaming him. They're blaming him for high gas prices. You know what? That's worldwide. Okay, inflation is worldwide right now. You can't blame him for this stuff. It's not his fault. You know, blame Putin. If you're going to blame somebody, blame Putin. He's the one who did it. Biden and the imaginary handshake. Yeah. It's like the Phantom Punch, you know, Ollie Frazier. No, it's Ollie Liston, wasn't it? The imaginary punch. He never touched him and the guy went down. It was Cassius Clay, in fact. It wasn't even Ali. That man needs to go play putt-putt and stop doing the most. All trying to be president. Yeah, I guess so. I called Putin out for a fight on Monday's live. I pulled off my shit and scared his commie ass. He never called. He can be putt-putt president. I'm just goofing. I understand. Putt-putt president had a hole-in-one last week. Lie, yes. Well, you claim no political powers? I just think we ought to be doing more in Palestine. Okay? Trump sees lies and cheating as an art. Well, sure he does. Read The Art of the Deal. That's what it's about. Okay? That's the art of the deal. Lying and cheating. Neither here nor there. No political assignment. I got you. Me either. Okay? I'm an independent. I vote for the person. And that's why Trump got elected, because I voted for Bernie Sanders. So that was my mistake. Rock and roll is my law and my religion. Ozzy, yeah. Well, I feel pretty much the same way, actually. I'm more devoted to music than anything else. You know. Art and music. I like art. I like music. Music as an art. It is an art. So, but, I used to do artistic things until I got real shaky. Of course, if I regain control of this hand, who knows what I might do? Might go back to doing glass. I used to like to do stained glass. I got a whole Foot Locker out in the garage full of glass and all my equipment, patterns. Music is a unifier. Yes, it is. Very much so. You can have people of all different ages and ethnicities liking the same song. No doubt about that. Yeah, it is cool. I like doing it because you can do it in the sunshine. Just hold different colors up to the light. Look at them. It's trippy. Although bleeding's not trippy. And you do get a lot of little cuts. Now that I take blood thinners, I don't know. I guess I could be more careful. It's all the tiny little shards. Cleaning up is when I cut myself the most. Wasn't doing the work. So, but I enjoyed doing it. But you can't make money at it. He buys that stuff. Although, what I did is I made roach clips and Christmas ornaments. And that's where I made money. Custom roach clips. Zodiac signs. Or I made roach clips for people who, whatever their profession was sometimes. Like I made a pair of scissors one time for this guy who cut hair. So, that sort of thing. Or zodiac signs were big. And then one time I made a black lab for this guy who had, he bred dogs. I made him a black lab roach clip. How do you connect the glass pieces? A glaze or some shit? Lead. You wrap the pieces in copper foil, and then you solder them together with lead. Okay. Yeah, lead solder. Yep, lead solder. Yeah, you have this copper tape that you put around the edge of the glass, and then you put the pieces together and you solder the tape over the tape so the pieces stick together. You run a real thick bead of solder so it looks like one solid piece. It's pretty cool. Yeah, both sides. Unless you're using, you can also use lead cane, which is lead channeling, and that's channeled on either one side or both sides, depending on whether it's internal or external edging. And then you use where do you find glass? There's stores that sell it, or you can order it online. But it's better if you go to a store that you can see it. There's different kinds of glass. Some of it's harder than others, so you need different kind of glass cutters for different kinds of glass. It's good to have like a grinding wheel for it too, so you can smooth out the edges before you put them together so they fit well. Because nobody's that good a glass cutter. Yeah, I'm sure you don't really need a kit. You can just start out. You go to the hardware store. You buy yourself a number 10 glass cutter, and you start with that. You buy yourself go to this hardware store. Get yourself a couple of pieces of clear glass, and practice cutting. And from there on, stained glass every fucking window in your house. Yeah. But just get a couple of pieces of window glass and a number 10 glass cutter and just practice cutting glass. Do that first. Oh, you've cut glass many times. Oh, okay. Not glass. I used to do stainless when I didn't shake. Sony was interested in giving it a try. Oh, lots of luck. Yes, I'm sure it did. Yeah, you'd enjoy it. I'm sure you'd enjoy doing it. It's fun. The only the only difficult thing is doing inside cuts, an inside curve or something like that. You got to do it in small cuts repeatedly. So you can't do a real deep inside cut or the glass will break, obviously. But you'll get the hang of it if you do it long enough. Wish I would have played guitar instead of middle linebacker. Shot putter. Yeah, me too. I wish I would have played a musical instrument. I tried. I was discouraged by my mother. I wanted to take piano lessons, and my mother discouraged it. Said you can't make money doing that. So it was all about money with my mother. You know. So, couldn't do it. Put away all that macho shit and learn to play guitar. Yeah. That's what you should have done, huh? Well, either one gets the girls, Yes, it is. Maybe even stronger than that. Keep letting this thing go out. I still can't get over saving $151 yesterday on the state yet. I see. Never worried about women. She got you young, huh? I see. But a zip of weed. Yeah, so I still haven't gotten any more plants going. I've been lazy. I got to get a couple more going. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just, I don't know, I've had other things going on in my life. So I'll get to it. I need to start a couple more. Harley's Panther piss is huge. Cool. I'm disappointed in the soil mixture I tried this time. I'm going back to what I was using before. So Brian, welcome aboard. And shalom to you. So I'm just talking about how I'm dissatisfied with my soil mixture I use this time. I tried something from a guy in Illinois here. I'm not happy with it. So next time. I'm going back to what I used before. I was very satisfied with that. So I'll go back to that. Just use Promex and it's easy, Spliffy. I just now cut a video. Oh, really? I'll go look at it. I was using this stuff called Indicanja, and I really liked it. It's a living soil, and all I was adding to it was CalMag. Making my own soils here on farm. Been composting all winter. All good. Just recovering from massive heart. Oh, sorry to hear that, Brian. Well, I'm glad you're recovering, but sorry to hear you had a heart attack. But I'm glad you're feeling better. I don't know if you heard, but I had brain surgery last month. Harley Grower, welcome aboard. But I'm doing well too. So my recovery has been fantastic. Yeah, it was for my tremors. But they could only do 50% of my body. So this is the side that still shakes. And this is the side they did. So it worked. So I'm really satisfied. They're going to do the other half in the fall. So then I'll be back to normal, which I haven't been in most of my life. So that'll be great. So I've had tremors since, I don't know, since I was in my 20s. Back then, it was only when I was nervous. Like if I go to traffic court, I always look guilty. So, but then as I got older, it progressed to the point where I was like this all the time. I think a vibrating hand will be a gift from Pornhub. Well, used to be a line. Come on, hey, ladies, look who vibrates. Yeah, 3 weeks on and finally have a normal blood pressure. Well, that's good. Strapped in a defibrillator vest for 3 months. Holy shit. People pay for that. Yeah. 3 months. My goodness. I hope it wasn't going off on you. Pure CBN isolates for tremors? Really? You can get them. See above comment? People pay for that. I saw that. Who lives 12 blocks away from each other? Goes off several times a day, but so far not passed out and got shocked. Just sit and chill, catch your breath. Well, that's not bad then. Actually, there's a website. Let me look for the link. They can sell it cheaper than I can. Okay, cool. CBN is legal to mail. Nice. Yeah, at least if it doesn't knock you out, if you can handle the shocks. Tell you the brain surgery was painful as fuck. So I was awake for that. And this ultrasound was non-invasive brain surgery. It shot ultrasonic waves into my head, but it hurt like a son of a bitch. Hard to concentrate. I mean, hard to make or concentrate, or hard to concentrate when you take it? I will. I was sleeping, barely woke in time to disarm it. Oh, oh man. Man, that thing, I don't know. I guess it's if it's keeping you alive, that's what counts, huh? But it's like wearing a taser. See, we're overcast, but we're in the 80s. You know, we've been in the 40s forever. All of a sudden, it's in the 80s, and it's only going to be this warm for a day. Okay. Next week, we're back in the upper 50s and shit. So this is only going to be for a day. Ooh, spaghetti. What time we're supposed to be over? We 69, giggity. I like spaghetti. Although I like, as a noodle shape, I really like linguine. Half hour. Okay. I'll be there. My CBD concentrate has put Crohn's in remission. Wow. Still stum in my stomach, but figured out capsules pass through. Took me all off, all blood pressure medication already. CBD has it low. Nice. That's really great. You did. Wow. I lived in Illinois. I'd be a weekend Harley Nicky visitor. You guys live in Illinois? Where in Illinois? Because I'll just come see you. Oh, you're in Michigan. Oh, northern, southern, middle by Flint. Oh, okay. Making CBD, CBG for Crohn's for 14 months of my own lab to make it affordable. Cool. I'm tempted. I live in Washington State. Used to go to New Buffalo to Redemax. For a cheeseburger. I like Flint. I got to watch that again. So I guess there was a a huge fine levied against that film company that was making that Rust movie. Producing 1-to-1 at a cost of $12 a gram. Take a gram a day. Oh. Dude was badass. M like Flint or our man Flint? Which one? Is that what you're talking about? Those movies? He was trained by Bruce Lee. Oh, okay. Well, take care. Tune in Tuesday. Might surprise you. Somebody huge that I haven't featured yet. Doctor said if my new oral method clears the stomach, he wants to write a book. Cool. My Crohn's was one of his worst cases. Cool. That'd be great. Write you up in a medical book. You know, get the word out there. I read that psychedelic drugs can have benefits for intestinal issues as well. Really? Yes, you will. Yes, you will, Stoney. Now, I mean, how can they keep it in a Schedule 1 if things like that get written up, you know? How can they keep weed in a Schedule 1 if things like that get written up? You know, I mean, honestly, sooner or later, things have to change. You know, I personally blame some of the heroin addiction in this country on the hypocrisy of marijuana being a Schedule 1. Okay, kids smoke weed, and they say, "Well, it's a Schedule 1." Well, heroin's a Schedule 1 too. Maybe that's hypocrisy as well. Now that I'm growing organic food again, probably be the first time in 8 years clear. Lion's mane also very good. Oh. A lot of gut illness is mental stress. Sure. Like ulcers, that sort of thing. If you've done mushrooms before you ever took opiates, you're 40 to 55% less likely to become addicted. Oh, that's cool. Well, you know, I did psychedelics before I smoked weed because because it was so long ago, okay, and I read the LSD story, and according to Timothy Leary, LSD was a gateway to enlightenment. Marijuana was a gateway to heroin addiction. Okay, I didn't want to become addicted to heroin, but I definitely wanted to be enlightened. So, uh, so I tripped long before I smoked any weed. Well, not long before, but months before, you know. So it was something I tried before I smoked weed but then a friend of mine was in the Marine Corps, and he had smoked weed, and he said, don't worry about weed, you're not becoming addicted to it, And here I am, I don't know, over 50 years later, and I'm still smoking weed. I don't know if I'm addicted to it. I think I'm just, I don't know, it's not a habit. It's just something I prefer to do, I never took mushrooms until I went to rehab for opiates. Oh, very true. Did lots of psychedelics in college. I had opiates, though, on them for years. Quit in 2016. Went to Creighton. The surgery first time used in years. Already back on Creighton. Oh, great time. Cannabis causes homeostasis. I'm definitely addicted to homeostasis. Homeostasis. I got you. Well, I must be too, because I've been smoking it a long time. So, I had a psychiatrist, and the last thing she says to me was, I think you ought to stop smoking marijuana. And I just looked at her, and that was the end of the session. And what she told me at the end of the session was that she was moving on, that I would be having a new psychiatrist the next time I came in. And the new psychiatrist hasn't mentioned it once. So I guess the cold stare I gave the old one was enough for her to write in my chart that wasn't going to happen. So this one hasn't brought it up at all. And but it's in all my doctor's charts. I never lied to anybody about, Smoked in 1986, bird plant grown in 1986. Well, see, I remember a time when you could buy it for $15 an ounce, Of course, half of that ounce was seeds. So. That was Mexican weed. And then Jamaican weed was $25 an ounce. And things got crazy. You couldn't get Jamaican weed anymore. And Colombian was $35 an ounce. So things stayed that price for a long time. So. Was about to say it cost $25 for an ounce and seeds for free. We had Colombian in Georgia. I see. Yeah. Yeah, well, Jamaican was already gone by the 80s. So Jamaican disappeared in the mid to late 70s. The ganja. Couldn't get that anymore. That was good stuff. It's a different kind of buzz. Sorry to see that go, actually. Oh, I missed 420. Well, but according to Stoney, if I'm within 5 minutes, it's still legal. So happy 423. There we go. Hate to miss out on a fresh one. Boy, something flying over really low. Don't get that out here much. So yeah, we had a very warm, windy, cloudy day. So Caribbean was smuggling through Georgia marshes. We got $50 and a half to go help unload. Whoa, nice. Yeah, that would be sweet. Yeah, they didn't do much smuggling into Chicago. You know, nothing coming in through Lake Michigan. So we paid premium prices, especially being big city. You know, you pay big city prices in the big city. That's a problem with living in a big city. Nothing's cheap. You know, and two, I worked for a small town company. I worked for a company that was headquartered in Springfield, Illinois, in the southern end of the state. They couldn't understand why we should be paid the salary we demanded since things are so much cheaper down there. You know, so it took a while to convince them that we needed more money up here than they needed down there. Too much law. Yes, you're right. Yeah. So I kind of like living out here. And I live in a town of less than 250 people and no police. So, you know, the county police take care of us out here, and we never see them. I'm as far south in the county as you can get and still be in the county. So we're like on the border. And so they never come out this far, you know, especially to a town of 250 people, less than 250 people. You all need to come to the commune. Bought 5 more acres with cabin and 2 more camper spots. Cool. Dog's got a camper. Lost dog. Dog pound. He can come down there. Pull that thing out of his parents' driveway once. Bring his garden down there. That's the problem. Driving his garden across state lines might be a problem. That's true. It hasn't moved in years. He tells me he starts it up, but I've never seen it run. So, you know, he claims it's drivable, but I have my doubts. You know, he told me he had to move, but I haven't seen him do that. You have to come between harvests. Yes. Although he seems to be perpetually growing stuff now, so I don't know when he's between harvests. You stayed in it in 18? Oh. Why didn't he say something about you being here? What the hell's wrong with him? I don't live that far away, you know. I'm only 25 miles away. I could have driven up there. He could have told me one of his YouTube buddies was visiting. Why don't I come up and meet you? He's selfish with his friends. You're right, though. I don't think I've ever seen that thing roll. And I've known him since he got it. So the only friend in Chicago had gone to jail that day. See, we're out cold. He said, come over. I see. Keep letting this thing go out. Just like the last one. They send him to county because that's a shithole. Over at 26 in California. I used to live a few blocks from there when I was a little kid. But if there's a Gloria train, he lives in the hood. 32nd and Lafayette. Oh, yeah, that's in the hood, all right. Yeah, I lived all over the city. I was at, well, like near Cermak and Western, and then I lived in Cicero for a year as a kid, and then I lived on the north side in a couple of different places as a kid, and then as a teen, I lived in a couple other different places on the northwest side. We were all over. I went to, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different grade schools, and then 2 different high schools before I dropped out and went into service. So we moved around a lot. So we never really settled anywhere. We were like one step ahead of the creditors all the time. So, it wasn't easy to find, to make friends and that sort of. Well, it was easy to make friends because I learned to make people laugh at an early age. So, I fit in that way. And then when I got out of the service, we got married. I think we lived in what, 1, 2, 3 different apartments before we got a house. We inherited a house. And then we lived there till we moved down here in 2000. One of those old brick tenement house. I was up there summer of 2019. But Chick was teaching to grow didn't make seeing friends easy. But we did explore almost all Chicago. Oh, well, that takes some doing. It's a big city. Of course, it's not the city I grew up in anymore. So it's changed a lot. And I haven't really been up there since the mid 2000s. I mean, since 2008, I'd say I haven't really been up there much. That's when I retired. So I've been down here pretty much since then. When I was still working, I was up there quite a bit, but not since then. Because I had field agents that still worked up in that area, and that I supervised. I was with the State Liquor Commission for 29 years. So walked through Subway for over a month doing street art, setting up a couple grows. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I lived up there until 2000. That's when I moved down here. So I was, 54 when I moved out of there. So yeah, I lived there all my life, for the most part. But I grew up in a different Chicago. I grew up in a much darker Chicago, which I think was much better, to tell you the truth. I grew up in the city that worked, they called it. It worked because the mob ran it. That's why it worked. You could only do it in short visits. Yeah, well, see, the mob ran the city, and you could still grease a cop's palm, that sort of thing. It was just a different Chicago. It wasn't so bright. Wasn't so brightly lit. There was less crime. Crime that was being committed was organized, or it was being committed by the police. But you could walk the streets in safety. Kids would play at night, till the street lights came out. Kids would play under the street lights, that sort of thing at night. Didn't have to worry about your kids. People didn't lock their doors. Just a different time. You know, there were malt shops and that sort of thing, you know, just like in the movies. So, I don't know. It's good to reminisce. I have the memories at least. Got to start dinner for the troops here in a minute. Okay. Our world gone to shit in the last 20 years. Oh, yeah. Most certainly has. Well, take care, Brian. And I hope you continue to feel better. And tune in Tuesday, 4:20 Central. And I'll play you some music. Take care. And I think I might wrap things up myself. My mind is starting to wander. So take care of yourself, and thanks for stopping by. Where's my mouse? So I'm going to end the show. So remember, there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. Okay? And we'll see you around. Take care.